Hi, it's Darlene from Scrappin', Stampin', and Inkin' by Dardee. And today I'm very pleased and excited to be able to share with you a walkthrough of my latest mini album. This album was created with the design paper Sand and Sea by 49 and Market. The album measures 9 by 9 and it has a 4.5-inch spine. There are 6 pages in this album, and each one of the pages has a pull-out. The pull-outs are 8.25 by 8.25, and they are matted on both sides. And each of the 5 have different stickers on them, so there are plenty of space on either the front or the back for photos or journaling. The 6th one has a photo mat or photo frame on the front of seahorses and on the back seashells. And for each of these 2 photo mats, I cut cardstock in the size of the photo that can be cropped and placed just by sliding it down into the frame of each. There's plenty of space for photos and journaling on all 6 of these, and you will see throughout the album that with the photo mats and a special photo booklet that I have in here, there are lots of spaces for photos. In creating this album, I did use 5 different shades of cardstock. I used several packs of artisan cardstock, which is the cream colored, and artisan cardstock, which is the craft. From Stampin' Up, I used a crumb cake, a blue, and a pink. And all 5 of these cardstocks go beautifully with this paper collection. Also, in the embellishments throughout this album, I did use an entire pack except one sand dollar and a few of these little bubbly bubbles. This is another pack that I have because I have found that I absolutely adore this paper collection, and I have enough to make an album for myself, so I did order one of these. I do sell my albums, so I want to make one for myself, but it would be a little bit different than this. But like I said, this paper, I absolutely adored it. There are scenes on these different sheets of designer paper that will remind you so much of your trip to the ocean or a cruise or the beach. And it was just so meaningful for me, so I have to make myself one of these albums. The front decorations here on my front page, I did use, these are rub-ons, and I believe they were in my stash, and I believe they were by K & Company. But the seahorses and the jellyfish and the little water foliage here. The lighthouse was on a designer paper that was in the packet, and I thought that was a very lovely page to use for my front cover. The lace that I used, I had in my stash. Mostly everything I did have in my stash. It is a beige colored lace trim that reminded me of seashells. So I decided to go ahead and use that. These pearl-like shells that are on here I had in my stash. This very delicate dark brown lace I attached to the side here and layered it with a strand of flat back pearls, which I decided to go and put around the entire front cover of the album. The spine, I chose to go ahead and put a string of these pearl-like shells, which I thought was very nice, and I used the same picture of the lighthouse that was on the front. The back, I mirrored, this is a heavy album, I'm sorry. The back, as far as the lace and the pearl trim, I just mirrored the front. This picture was one of the pages in the designer pack, and I thought it would look very nice on the back cover. This grass here is from the die-cut embellishments that I showed you. And this is one of my pearl shells with 2 pearls that are glued on there. I also chose to put the pearl trim around the outside of the back cover. On both the front and the back cover and the spine, I have layered 6 sheets of paper with a designer paper on the top. If you've noticed throughout my albums, I do double and triple mat my pages. I like the effect that it gives, and it just sort of, to me, brings the paper alive, so to speak, and I just like doing that, and it makes me feel good. So that's what I've done. I have 6 layers on the front and back covers and also on the spine. Okay, let's start with our walkthrough. I hope I can keep this in camera here. You'll have to excuse me. I've been having a little bit of problems with my camera, so I keep checking over there to see if it's okay. On the inside front cover and on the inside back cover, I do have what is called photo booklets, and they are by Simple Stories. And what they are is, this one here is a 3x4, and I have the 4x6 on the back cover. They are chipboard front and back, and inside there are 4 photo sleeves. So I did embellish this, and to make it look nice on the page, I added some little pearls and a little bit of lace trim down at the bottom to kind of bling it up. But like I said, this is a 3x4, so you could put 5 photos in here, or 9, because you could double up front and back of these here. I've done that before. They are magnetized, and I thought that looked very nice with this front page. The next page has a flap, a side flap, and it has a seahorse, the 2 jellyfish, a bottle with some shells and a starfish, and some coral here that was from the die-cut embellishments. And when I talk about the die-cut embellishments, it's from this sheet here. I do have some rather peachy colored scalloped lace on here, a very dainty lace, and some smoky blue flat back pearls that I put on there to embellish that. On the back, I left this plain for photos. There were no photo mats or 6x3 4x6 or 4x4s or 3x4 cutouts in this collection, so I had to cut my papers to make my mats. And they are all matted with the Artisan cream colored cardstock. I left this plain for photos. And like I said, the mats, the pullouts come from the insides of these pocket pages. The next 2 pages, I have, it's a peachy color that looks very nice with paper, and I also used the blue Stampin' Up! Paper in this to mat it. I made 3 mats for in here, various sizes, also backed on the back. And I used a couple of those little, I don't know what you call them, marble bubbles from that die cut embellishment sheet. This grass and these 2 grasses here are also from that sheet. And these pages sort of mirror each other. And it is hard when you find a paper that you absolutely love and to take your cutter, your trimmer, your scissors, and start to cut it up to make photo mats. It's a little sad, but that's what I had to do here, and it seemed to work out just fine. I really had not a choice to make. Here, the next 2 pages, I have 2 side flaps again, each with this very delicate beige colored lace, again with a smoky blue, excuse me, flat back pearls. And photos may be placed on both of these. And when you open them up, I left the inside of them plain, as you can see, for photos. 2 of my favorite sheets from this collection were these 2. And I have one here and one here, and I left this all open for photos. And each of them have 2 photo mats in. Oops, this one was upside down. And again, they are magnetized here and here. So as you can see, there's going to be plenty of room for a lot of photos. The next 2 pages, this is a very pretty paper with the corals and blues and aquas. And on here I have the die cut embellishments that came from that sheet. I have a starfish here, some coral, one of those jellyfish, and again some coral here. This has a top flap. Some journaling or a nice photo could be placed there. This top flap I left plain so that photos may be placed there, and this is all open for photos. I made a photo mat for here, and again magnetized. On this side I have a pocket, again with that same lace and the pearls. This is opened up here for photos and or journaling, and I have 3 photo mats that I made for here. This paper is absolutely adorable. The colors just so, it's very relaxing, if I may. As far as journaling, tags for journaling, I used the Graphic 45 tags, and I covered them with my 45 tag die, and I absolutely love them. And I decorated them and thought that you could journal on the back here. And to me, they just added a nice little added touch. And I added the seam binding to them. And again, on this page, I used Stampin' Up! Blue. These two pages have the belly bands, and each of them have a very delicate, very pale pink lace with some sparkly blue and green flat back pearls. The lobster, crab, and shell on both of these are buttons. And the colors, I had those in my stash, and the colors just seem to be perfect for these two pages. And worked out just super great for that. And I have 3 photo mats that I made for here. And more photos could be placed under the belly bands. Here I made another one of the tags that you could use to journal on, and I chose to put a little starfish on there. And I thought that they each added something to the page. On this side, again, I have one of the tags, and these are the photo mats. The colors on these pages are very soft and very pretty. And the pearls and the lace all go very well with it. And the choice that I used for my seam binding brought that shade out real nice. On here is the pink from Stampin' Up! These two pages have a corner flap on each. Here I have from the die cut embellishment sheet a starfish, a sand dollar here, and some of the grasses, and there was only one little goldfish on that sheet. I wish that would have had more, but it's identical to this one and this one here, and very cute. I left the backs of these plain so that I thought to journal about whatever photos were placed here would be an excellent place for that. I have 2 mats for in here. Again, that is magnetized, and here. And again, the photos and room to journal. Now this page in the back here is a pocket page, and I have that very delicate tan colored lace with a brown strip of that very pretty lace trim and some cream colored pearls. This is a starfish from that die cut embellishment sheet, and I have one of my pearl shells and 2 pearls there that I thought looked very nice with that. And I have 3 photo mats. 4, I'm sorry. And certainly photos can be placed there, and there is quite a bit of room here that you could even add more of your own photos in here. This is wide enough to go ahead and, if you so choose, to put more in there. The back page here is where I was telling you about this photo booklets, and this is the 4x6. And again, I embellished it, and this starfish, no, the seahorse and the starfish I had in my stash along with these little starfish. And again, this does have the 4 photo sleeves in, where it would allow you to put 8, 9, 10 photos, or just 6, whatever you would choose. And you could do some journaling even here, or put the photos all in here and just write about what those photos are for. Well, this is my album, and I really have to tell you, I fell in love with this paper collection. I've had a few trips to the ocean, and it certainly brought back quite a few memories, and very pleasant ones, and kind of makes you miss the ocean. And I just want to say that I hope that you enjoyed this walkthrough. I enjoyed doing it for you. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. And if you like my albums or would like to subscribe to my YouTube channel, I would appreciate that very much. At this time, I would like to thank you for giving me the opportunity to share this beautiful paper collection with you and what I created with it. And I wish you a pleasant evening. Thank you. Bye-bye.